All right, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I've just been getting started again this year with doing the YouTube channel and everything, but this information needs to get out there. So I'm just going to start putting it out there. And as I figure out how to get, classes and stuff going. All right, yesterday I had talked about tuberculosis and it being a territorial conflict, and how it affects the lungs and stuff like that. What you need to do to rectify it, obviously you do what the medical doctors tell you, but if you want to clean your blood and stuff up, you can use different types of herbs and all of that. One of my favorites is pickled beets, which I've got up on my counter that I made this year. Actually, I normally buy them, but it's cheaper for you to make them. So along with some other great herbs and stuff like that. There's a lot of mushroom products. I'd probably use chaga and turkey tail. For the lungs, there's some other formulas and stuff that I'll be taking a look at, but that would be some ones to be able to get a hold of. Ohm is a good company, and then I think it's called Host Defense or something, and he was one of the guys that did the film for the fungi. And I use a lot of their products. I also use a company out in, I think it's Utah, called Luna something. And I'll get the name on that. Hold on one second. I might have a bottle here. Yeah. So it's called Luna Logic, and it's out of Utah. And they actually pay attention. And actually, this one happens to be the Bone Deep support. They have a website. I've actually found this company was out in California on vacation. I think it's called Luna Logic Herbs. And this one has turmeric, ginger, chaga, and astragalus in it. That does muscle support and is deep, bone deep, but it has to do with muscle and joint support. So if you want to get something like that for the TB, there's other formulas and stuff that you can take a look at on there. But to get to measles that had come up yesterday, that has to do with a lot of things that are happening. A lot of friends are separating and they feel that it stinks, and it has to do with I'm no longer your friend. So the measles are bringing up that type of conflict within the huge majority of the population of America right now, because I have had to leave a lot of friends. Too many people have been brainwashed on television. I don't watch TV, so because of that, I have critical thinking. I don't, been getting caught up in all the lies, and I've watched people that were, supporters of people having rights and stuff like that, to people giddy at the fact that all the liberals in California had lost their home, absolutely giddy about it. And that has thrown me for a loop. So I've had the measles when I was really little and stuff. So I've already had that. And I probably ended up getting a shot of something of that when I was little. But it's too many of the kids right now. I have got these, but this type of a sudden emotional shock across the United States and stuff, this will be a big clue to what's kind of going on with people and stuff. And I'm going to continue starting to look on other people's channels and stuff to see what's happening with the what other things that are popping up for everybody, from measles to chickenpox is another one. Separation of mother in a climate of change, and has to do with like maybe having a separation of anxiety and stuff, having some sort of feeling that the mother changed her behavior. Maybe sometimes they have, mothers get involved with situations and stuff. And there's a huge group of women that just completely destroyed women's health care across the board and stuff. And they're okay with it because they're more than likely getting ready to leave the planet anyway, because everybody dies on this planet. When I became a death person, when I was helping so many of my clients and stuff out, I went from helping them help with their health care to actually helping them cross over, because a lot of people thought that they were just going to go into some sort of blackness and that they didn't continue going on in the ethers, and that's not true at all. Only near-death people sometimes seem to have that, but this was a huge generation. I had a grandmother that was 98 years old who was afraid to die. She was a Jewish descendant. She was part of World War II, and she didn't tell anybody that she was Jewish at all because of what happened, because she didn't want to be persecuted again because of all of the things, and she refused to die. She continued to come back. She was in hospice, and she ended up dying coming back and dying and coming back and dying, and it almost became a joke that she wasn't going to leave and stuff. And I think that every time she died, she realized as she started to come back that she was going to continue living, that her body would be the one. But she was sort of stubborn that way, because she really didn't feel that there was a God with that type of war that would kill millions of people and do the damage that we're getting ready to see happen maybe here in America if we can't get the Dems to start putting on their fighting gloves here. So, or have the military step in and saying, this guy is, he's a dangerous person, and he's a danger to democracy. He's a danger to the United States. He's part of that weird bloodline that everybody's so caught up on and stuff. And Kamala hadn't been in that bloodline. So she would have been moving forward without all of that, bloodline stuff that happens. And because we don't really pay attention to that crap here in the United States, but it doesn't still mean that it's still not relevant in some weird ass way that we don't understand. So on the measles, it's a separation energy of friendships. It stinks, and I will no longer be your friend, is what the meaning of measles is. So as I stated before, and more than likely has to do with, even just friendships across the way. I've got a lot of MAGA hats over here and stuff, and, they seem to be pretty calm and kind of happy about what's happening, even though they're getting their own lives destroyed at the same time. We're all going to die, people. And, that's how you have compassion for others. When I had my full-blown awakening years back, 2009 and 10, my whole life got thrown into the shitter. And what's happening right now in the United States, everybody's getting flushed down the toilet, and everything that we've, done to have a decent flow of life, having your car registered and all that, and, him throwing it back to the States. If we're going to end up doing all of that type of stuff, we might as well not be the United States anymore. And that's why everybody's saying, hey, let's purchase it. If we can go around and start purchasing everybody else's land around here from the Panama and all this other bullshit that he's talking about, then why not, leave the United States and stuff? I mean, people think, Texas was wanting to leave at one point. The largest, economy in the world is California. So, he wants to destroy California along with those other bozos. And unfortunately, we're all going to pay for it with some sort of weird ass illnesses that are going to continue coming back. Matter of fact, I think polio came back over in Israel and some other in that area and stuff. And they're going to they're going to take that land over there too. I mean, these guys have been planning this crap for the last 4 years, and the Tesla guy or Starboy using Starlink to be able to use use that as a way of tallying our numbers and all of that type of stuff, because he knew that she's won. She's won the election, but nobody wants to go into that because of all the BS he's pulling right now. So some other things that'll probably start coming up will be whooping cough, which has to do with territory conflict. You know, what will they say? I want to bark at people. You're living in some sort of fear of impairment and stuff that has to do with whooping cough. So if you've got a type of cough or something, I don't want to hear about it, because that's where a lot of people are right now. They're like in a place of fear around what's happened in Los Angeles. I've had a lot of friends lose their houses out there. And then I had that one friend, as she said, she was so giddy that all the, stupid retards of the, the Democrats were losing their homes and stuff, and the liberals, and ha 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 ha, isn't it wonderful that all these libtards are losing their homes and stuff? How fucking happy I am. And it's really, really shocking. So that type of stuff is going to happen. We're going to start having more types of sudden emotional shocks that are coming to the body, but we need to pay attention to that now, because in a year's time, when everything's settled down, or we've gone to war, or whatever is going to be happening, where our bodies will start to heal, which is what creates some of these types of illnesses and stuff. That's when we need to start taking care of our body. We need to start eating better. America, we shouldn't be eating any breads and stuff here. I can't even eat rice anymore. I don't know what they've done to the damn rice, but I can't eat it. I'm allergic to almonds. I found out that I'm allergic to eggs. I was doing a keto diet for a long, long time, along with some other things and stuff, and I found out that I'm allergic to a lot of those nuts and stuff. It creates a type of inflammation in my body. And we need some conflict resolutions and stuff. We need to learn how to establish boundaries. We need to do inner work and meditation, because when I woke up, my whole life got thrown into everything. That's when I had told you yesterday that I had gotten into a huge fight and had been picked up by my throat and all this crazy stuff that happened. And we need to start paying attention. We need to go to therapies. These elections and stuff that we're going through, amplifies everything. And then you've got people walking around that everything's totally fine, but they also watch the news. They don't stop watching the news. I've got that friend of mine who listens to the news. It's up on at 6, and then they don't go to bed until past 1 o'clock in the morning. So that news is constantly running in the background. Even if they aren't watching it, they're cooking or doing whatever. They're listening to that shit all day long. They don't get a break from it. I don't watch any news. I watch movies when I want to watch movies. I go to the theater to watch a movie, but I don't go and listen. I unfortunately did a lot of advertising and stuff during the holidays for my store with the Love Note jewelry and everything, but I ended up going down to that proverbial hole with all the advertising companies that I had been working with and stuff, and you get caught up in the scrolling, that what else he's doing, what they're fighting for. They think that he's going to be playing by the rules and stuff. He's got somebody running the government right now that's not going to play with the rules, and they're all worried about the King's Act and this and that and all this other crap. He's not playing by anybody's rules. He's going to completely destroy. He's already taken the Constitution down. So what else is he going to be doing? That y'all just kind of just sitting there. You're all in molasses right now. You better get out of it and snap the hell out of it and stuff. I'm going to continue looking up to see what else is kind of going on out there. Matter of fact, I had taken a look at yesterday when we had like the Spanish flu and stuff like that had come through back in the day. Because we've had other black plagues and big things that have happened when you have a lot of people that are leaving the planet at the same time. Hold on. So we have a evolution of the conflict and stuff. So we have the sudden emotional shock, and then we have the body going into healing and stuff. But if you have that too many times, that's when we develop the supercells, which are considered cancer. And I call it the C word. Try not to give it any more power than it already has, especially here in the States, because we think that the body is trying to kill us when it's trying to actually save us and stuff. So it gets riddled with different types of things. I'm looking for that. We have a lot of learning disabilities here in the States. Different types of syndromes. There's measles. Respiratory system. Well, I'm going to continue looking to see what else is out there. I was trying to find that one. Even, here it is. The plague of 541. It has to do with Orthodox Christians. The emperor had a domination upon the Catholic Church at the time. And there was a war that happened with the Persians along invading an area. And that created a huge part of the population in that region. And that had to do with the plague of the Justinian. And that had to do with some really weird people feeling this outrage in beliefs and indeed elimination of their practices. So if you're allowed to practice and only everybody's going to be able to do evangel, stuff and hate thy neighbor and hate the people that is next door to you and hate the brown people and hate the black people and hate the Orientals and hate this and hate the fuck that, whatever their problem is, that creates huge problems and stuff with their body. The Black Plague that had come through with the in the European area had to do with discovering new things, the fear of dying, an idea because of new ideas that were coming through at the time. There was a darkness in that particular century. They were trying to bring enlightenment, which is what we were doing here. And the Black Plague had to do with a benchmark of 1,000 years of old structures disappearing and bringing in some new ideas. We were trying to bring some new ideas in by hiring a Kamala and stuff to continue, with having to do stuff. This has to do with Christopher Columbus bringing in the different plagues and stuff to the United States also. And then we had syphilis, which was killing a lot of people in the early 1900s. That was when it deforms people's bodies and stuff. And then tuberculosis. The Spanish flu, which everybody was trying to say was COVID, except COVID was created. Stuff that had to do with the Russian Revolution that was from the 1700s. 1917, excuse me. And then we had some other things that have been going on. It has to do with communism was rising. Europeans started, they started killing. They killed almost 40 million people at that time. So, this whole situation, the Spanish flu was called the Spanish flu for absurd reason because it was First World War. It had been unleashed, and then someplace in the 17 and 18, so 1917 and 18, it had raged across the world, especially India, and openly this epidemic was decimating populations and especially its soldiers. Where countries were affected, this pandemic had little to do with nothing with the war, but the conflict was a mark in history of mankind from where the Spanish flu was generated. It had to do with the Russian Revolution and communism coming through. Because I remember reading back when I had read this particular author's that was in the concentration camps and stuff, and he was talking about how almost all the Jewish people during Christmas had stayed alive, and they said, we're not going to continue, we don't have to, but if once Christmas passes and this all passes, that first Christmas, most of the people died. And some people, the ones that were living, that stayed alive, knew that they had something better to do, but it was longer than 4 years. And we think that, we're not going to have some sort of mass problem here with some sort of epidemic. It started with him with using the COVID, but that had been created way before, and then somebody purchased it right before all of the stuff. But they seem to have a lot of back meetings and stuff. I mean, look at all the things that are going on. They're removing all these here's my kitty. This is Nanook. They've been, I need you to keep moving. Anyway, they're creating problems and stuff. He created this problem, and then Biden had to step in and do something about it. Not everybody wanted to do certain things, but at the same time, we needed to, you know, take a look at what was going on with everything. So as you start to work and have an understanding of it, they try to make it like the Spanish flu, but when it was generated in the lab, so that they can create these problems and stuff to make themselves, happening with. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, because we're being much more monitored now, and all of this stuff that's happening with, all of the channels and everything. I'm not even gonna be doing. I made a sale the other day on TikTok, but they had blocked out the client's name. So I couldn't make the order and stuff, and I had to contact her and tell her, hey, I can't make your order because they've blocked out your name. They start it and put all this. When it rolled over into my account, I can't mail it to her because it's got stars in front of her name, her email, her address, her phone number. I couldn't call and do anything about it if I wanted to because of whatever the hell they blocked it with. So I'm going to take a look at some other things, and we will see what's happening. Like, I don't know if cholera is going to pop up, or we're going to end up having another made up, flu and stuff. Because I've been watching certain behaviors at stores. Everybody started dissipating the drive up parts where you could drive up and all of that. And it was like, how come they started rolling the DIE, diversity and equity and inclusion? Why did that stuff start right off the bat and stuff? It's like they've been having inside meetings and stuff from Walmart and Amazon, and they just don't give a crap about us. We're just a bunch of slave workers to them. And so what are we going to do about it? And if we're going to continue to have some sort of democracy, what are our guys going to do about it here? Because he's not going to play by the rules. So I'm going to take a look to see what other things that are going on here with the health and stuff. And again, if you like the reel, or you want to share it with somebody that's going through up in the Kansas area and parts of Texas and stuff about what's happening with cholera and the measles and stuff like that, take a look. Start paying attention to what your body's going through, because remember, TB had to do with, again, an active and adopting some sort of a new order, which is what's happening, materialistic and that type of thing. You're in a repair state too, and there is a fear of death. I don't fear dying. The body dies. My soul is going to continue moving on. Hopefully it just won't come back, because if we are caught in some weird ass matrix and stuff, like the movie, you start to wonder, why we keep going into these repeated patterns and stuff, because we've got ourselves another Shitler here, and too many people are buying it, and a lot of people I'm losing friends all over the place. I've just lost. United States is our country, and I'm losing friends because too many people listen and watch that freaking news. Turn that shit off. Just like that guy stated in the wonderful information that he's done at the Super Bowl. So anyway, if you like the channel, let me know. If you like this reel, please share it with other people, because this is information that needs to get out to others. And you guys have a great afternoon, and talk to you guys tomorrow or later today. Bye.